Hey y'all, how you doing this morning? Well, it's Sunday morning, August the 2nd. Ain't y'all glad we made it through July? I hope August is better. I don't know about you. You like my shirt? You like my shirt? It says blessed, and that's what I am. I'm blessed. You know, I went up to Walgreens this morning to get some pictures that I had ordered last night, and the cashier says, "Your shirt is wrinkled." I said, "So's your grandma. You love her, don't you?" Anyway, let's read these cards. This is what you came here for today, isn't it? Not my little sassy ass. So, today I'm using the Miss Cleo Power Deck. And for those of you who don't know, I am the co-author of every edition of the Hoodoo Almanac available at Amazon. And in one of these, I honestly can't remember which one, I wrote an article about Miss Cleo and the Four Doors and how she influenced not only me, but a lot of other readers because, during the time her infomercials came out, for a lot of us, I know I'm speaking for myself here, this was the first time that I saw a tarot reader ply their trade. Now we know that many of those calls were faked. I really feel that Miss Cleo herself was genuine. She just got caught up in, she became the scapegoat for the psychic hotlines, but I really admired her and liked her style. Another quick thing about the Hoodoo Almanacs, I know like this one says 2013. It does have a lot of astrological information in here about moon phases and holidays and whatnot that were valid for 2013, but it also contains a lot of articles, recipes, spells, and things that would be of interest to anyone who is a practitioner of hoodoo, root work, conjure, witchcraft, any and all that. So don't let the fact that it's an almanac fool you. It's got lots of information in here that can and will be of use to you. Okay, on to the cards. So, just gonna shuffle them. Okay, now I'm gonna cut them. Now I usually do into threes and put them back together. And then Miss Cleo, if y'all ever watched her infomercials, she likes to take and cut them into fours. So that's what I'm gonna do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's turn them over. And look at them here. Okay, so the first card we have is the Ace of Staffs, or the Ace of Wands. And so what this tells me is that our theme for this week is beginnings. It's the beginning of a brand new month. We have a full moon tomorrow, setting up a new moon cycle from full to full. So this is a great time for beginnings and completion. What I see here is that our theme is renewal. This is a time when we can harness the energies around us to put toward our goals. I see this is a really great time for performing rituals, especially rituals that combine mind, body, and spirit to put ourselves in the right frame of mind and headspace to, I just feel this sort of a narrowing of focus, like a pinpoint. We have to put everything else out of our minds and out of our spaces and focus on one thing. So the message of this card here is for those of you who've, you want money, you want love, you want health, you want this, that, and the other. You wanted to overcome your enemies. You want to cleanse yourself. Now is the time to really narrow your focus. You are depleting your energy by spreading yourself around too much. Pick one goal this week. Pick one goal, or even this month, and work on that one goal until you've obtained it, and then move on to another goal. Don't spread yourself too thin. This is the Ace of Wands is like setting yourself back to zero, making a course correction, fixing the mistakes you made in the past and doing better. And now is the time for you to narrow your focus. Okay. And this goes not only just magically, this goes for people of you who are non-magical, who, your goal might not be something that you're working on magically. Maybe you're building up a business. Let's just use that as an example. Maybe you're starting a new business and you're working on advertising, you're working on clients, you're working on getting your accounting in order, you're working on this, and you spread yourself too much, you're not really getting anything done. You focus on one thing at a time. People brag about being multitaskers, but I've read that there's studies that say when people multitask, they actually get less done than if they would just work on one thing at a time. And I know sometimes things just are constantly coming in and you have to reprioritize, but it's very important to really just work on one thing at a time. Do that one thing well. Okay, our next card is the Ten of Swords. This is a card that not a lot of people like. It shows a person lying on the ground. Their body is pierced by 10 swords. And see, this goes back to the first card of spreading yourself too thin. You have all these things stuck in you that's depleting your energy. It's wearing you down by the sheer numbers and the weight. You may be feeling betrayed by the universe. You may be feeling betrayed by the people around you who you don't feel are supporting you. You may be feeling betrayed by your own body. I'm not as young as I used to be. I can't keep up this level of energy anymore. Also, this is really what's going to work against you again. Your negative thoughts about things, your negative feelings about things. You got to think of yourself as a lucky person. You got to think of yourself as an energetic person. You have to think of yourself as a successful person. It all begins in your mind. So, just keep that in mind as you figure out what it is you want to do, what you want to complete, what you want to manifest this week or this month. The next card is the Three of Staffs or Wands. That's the card there. And this card shows a man. He's standing out over a cliffside. There are two staffs beside him. He's holding one staff up, and he's overlooking the sea. The sun can either be coming up or going down, depending on your perception. And there's a ship, and it could be either going out or coming in. So what this card tells me, what's going to work against you, is, you know what this card really reminds me of in this instance. Don't ask me to quote the chapter and verse because I don't remember, but there's a story in the Bible where the Jews were warring against another group of people, and God told Moses to take his staff and hold it up. And so long as Moses held his staff up, just like this in this picture, this man's holding up this staff. As long as he held that up, the Jews would win in the battle. But how long can you hold your hand up? Try it. How long can you hold your hand up before you just can't hold it up no more? Now, Moses was human, so he got tired. He was an old man, too. He got tired, and his arm began to get tired, and he brought it down. And when he brought his staff down, the Jews began to lose the battle. And you know what happened? His friends, his advisors, the people around him, held him up. And they held his hand up for him because he was so tired. And when those friends held up Moses' hand again, the Jews began to win the battle, and ultimately they won that battle. So what this card is telling me is what's going to work against you is, learn to count on the help of your friends. Don't depend on them too much, but, use them an appropriate amount. Especially, again, if we go back to the metaphor or the example of you're starting up a business. If you're starting up a business, you probably have employees. Learn to delegate. You can't do everything on your own. Learn to ask for help when you need it. Um, don't try to go it in alone, or you're going to get tired. You're going to get tired, and you're going to lose that war. There's that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. So learn to delegate. Learn to replenish your energies. Just like that sun, is it going up or is it going down? That implies that there's a period of rest between the time it goes up and the time it goes down again. There's even the sun, the source of life and power in our galaxy, rest. Okay, and then the final card is the King of Cups. See that? And this card shows a man sitting on a throne, and that throne is floating on the water. He has a cup in his one hand, and I believe that's called a crook in the other. And there's a fish or a dolphin behind him, sort of jumping in and out of the water. And on the horizon, there is a ship. And so the King of Cups corresponds to, in astrology, Cancer. And Cancer is the advisor. And he is someone he's a king, so he has power and authority and wisdom. He's someone who has empathy for you, but he can give you good advice. He knows the value of self-care. He's relaxing in his chair. He's dipping his toes in the water. See, he's soaking his feet when his feet's tired. I do that myself. I soak my feet in the water when my feet are tired and aching and hurting. And he's not wearing a shirt. He's wearing some loose clothes. This image to me makes me think of self-care. Self-care, and he's treating himself like a king because he knows he's a king. So whether you're a man or a woman, what you need to learn again is to treat yourself like the king or queen that you are. Practice self-care. Put yourself out there. Do as much as you can. Don't wallow in self-pity. Narrow your focus. Work on one thing at a time. Learn to delegate. Learn to ask for help when you need it. Learn to ask for advice when you need it, but also flip that coin and learn to take care of yourself, replenish your energies, and treat yourself like the king or queen that you are. And this is what's going to guide you this week, learning to take care of yourself in mind, body, and spirit. So that's my reading for the week. I hope you guys enjoy it, and as always, think good thoughts, do good things, and be good people. Until next time, have a great day.